Okay, so this is a recorded session. This is Dennis and Ray about to present the inquiry system which we created for our fourth year project. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Let me share here. Ray, you can make a brief introduction about yourself, then we carry on.
Yes. So welcome to this presentation. We are the developers. I'm Raymond Gashoka,
Dennis
and
Lerito.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then to the next slide.
Okay. This is the inquiry system. Let's go through here. Okay, so the main objective here was to develop an online inquiry chatbot application. This was to enable the real-time interaction between the campus student and the administration, as opposed to going to the corporate office. You can be able to have an automated response made by the system that can enable you to get access to campus facilities or any information about the campus real time, or even the administration. You can get it real time. So the objective
Then we have
was
our specific objectives. The first one was to enable interactive exchange of information between the student and the university. So as we demonstrate the system, we will show how we achieve this objective. We also have the second one is to enable informed decisions to be made by potential students in course selection. So with that, in our system, we have provision for links which students can edit ya mwisho hiyo 3 links.
okay. Oh,
So the
yeah.
third is to enable access of university content using the right links. So in our system, we have links which the students can connect to get the right access to university content.
Okay. So we had the conceptual framework. In the last defense, we managed to explain it, but we're going to explain it again. So here we have three sections. We have the independent variables, moderating variables, and dependent variables. The dependent variable is the actual system that's going to be developed. The independent variables are the elements or the variables that are going to be used to achieve the system. In this case, we have ICT infrastructure. Like that's what you're going to use to be able to achieve the system. Access. This will the access here in this place as part of an independent variable will enable the student to be able to access information from the university using the bot. Interaction, real-time interaction by the student with the bot will enable information to be dispensed in a timely manner, and also real-time, because the student will just ask the bot questions, and the bot has prefixed answers that can that respond to the question that is asked, and also it also enable the information to be dispensed in a quick fashion, real-time fashion, as opposed to sending an email, which the user, which the student has to wait for a bit so that it's found and it's replied to. Staff input as an independent variable. This is what the data that is going to be put as the response to the system. Let's say, for example, you're asking something about the faculty. The staff will be able to curate their formal response that's going to be brought back to the student. So inside
Then
the
we have our moderating variables. So these are variables which are directly affecting the independent variables and can influence how the system is used. So for ICT infrastructure, we require financing in order to facilitate this system. So the finance needs to be in place. The administration needs to set aside some amount to which they'll dedicate to the software's installation and hosting of the application. We also have access. So it will be the moderating variable here is age. So we're expecting that the students are of a younger generation, so they are well conversant with the use of technology, smartphones, and PCs. But for the older generation, they might have a challenge in using this system because they might not have the necessary tools like smartphones, and they might not be conversant with websites and the use of chatbots. And ICT skills will affect interaction and access also. So in order to use the system, the users require to have skills in knowing where to access the content, knowing how to navigate to websites in order to interact with the system. We also have staff input as a mediating variable. We have decisions. These are the what the admin will be feeding to the system, to the knowledge base in order to generate responses. So the decisions that he inputs to the application will affect the output of the inquiry system. And then
Yes.
you're dependent.
Okay. Now the dependent variable is the system. Okay. So the this inquiry system will be centered upon service called
Uh,
Dialogflow,
yeah.
which we employed to implement our system, and we're going to explain it in the next slide. Okay,
So
Dialogflow.
that yeah, to interchange slides in there.
Uh, yeah, there's interchange. Okay, we'll do that later.
Dialogflow, as in nini, we present slide mini next time.
Mhm.
So Dialogflow is a tool for building virtual agents that can intelligently respond to user input, voice, or text. It was originally owned and developed by Speak to It, but was purchased by Google in 2016 and is now part of the Google Cloud platform.
Okay, so Dialogflow has a bunch of features that I'm going to explain. So in this case, the inquiry system, we're going to take the approach of we're going to take the approach of an agent-based approach, in which we're going to create an agent, which is the inquiry system. Then in that agent, it will have intents, entities, a knowledge base, fulfillment, and small talk, analytics, and also integration. So an intent is what the user wants to ask,
You
what
go
wants
next
to ask
slide.
the
You
system.
scroll. Yeah, nearly easily start a next
Oh,
slide.
an agent is your entire chatbot application. It represents an individual chatbot. So the intent in this case, the objective of the users to make the request. Intents map what a user says and what your agent should execute. In this sense, when you ask the chatbot a question, it's going to be able to take the keywords from that and from the knowledge base being helped by the webhook to enable the chatbot to come up with an adequate response based on the question. So an entity, they are used to extract parameter values from user queries. They may be system or developer defined. Intents contain entities. An entity is a key phrase or word. Let's say, for example, multimedia university. If a statement contains multimedia university and it's asking something about the future for multimedia university, it is going to peg the word multimedia university and future. So future and multimedia university are going to be the entities. So the response is going to be centered around the future of multimedia university. So you're going to take future and multimedia university and see what type of, and it's going to generate a response based on the training of the knowledge base that it has been fed. Okay. Now, knowledge base, a
So
feature, Raymond.
we have continuation of the features. We have the knowledge base. So it's a feature that complements the defined intents by passing documents such as FAQs, articles, or HTML files to find questions and responses. So the knowledge base is where the admin of the system will be feeding the bot or the inquiry system with question and answer responses. So this will allow for user queries like FAQs to be answered in an easier manner. We also have Smalltalk. It's a feature that is used to provide responses to casual conversations outside the scope. So we do have users who might want to just interact with the system and test it out just for fun. So this is a feature that we added to our system, the Smalltalk. We also have fulfillment. It's a piece of code that is deployed as a webhook that lets your Dialogflow agent call an external API in order to accomplish the objective the user has requested. So depending on the intent, the fulfillment is the backend which will be called to accomplish the request that the user wants to that the user wanted.
Okay.
Itabidi tu tumeshapen hapo to present at least.
So this is a high level interaction of how the iteration of how the system should work. And okay.
So kuna ile nini document yetu iko na niliexplain hizo vitu hizo steps.
Are these steps?
Kuna ile document yetu.
Yeah.
Unajua iko document nimeandika chini. So ni kusoma tu. Vinyapa zingetoshea.
This one you can still explain. This so the underlying principle that is going to be employed in the chatbot architecture when you're using Dialogflow is natural language understanding. This is what is this is very important because when a user writes a phrase, it's up to the way we have designed the bot. It will pick what the user has taken and be able to run it through a series of iterations through the intent to get through the entities to match the intent so that it can come up with a response based on how you have trained the bot. So in this case, we had when the user types hello, the bot is inclined to run. It's going to process that and generate an auto response. Here's an example of how Smalltalk has been achieved. In this case, when you ask the bot a simple question, Smalltalk enables a quick reply, which enables interaction outside the knowledge base. But when you ask the bot a question specifically about a multimedia university, is going to go through the knowledge base, through intent and entities, and to enable a generated response based on the intent, based on the question asked by the user. So this is the client interface that has taken the shape of a mobile phone, or also in this case we're going to demonstrate it through web. But this is the way it's supposed to work. Yeah. So in this, Ray will take us through.
Yeah, so we'll now go to our system demonstration. So we have our users who will be interacting with the PCs and also their smartphones. And so they'll interact through a web user interface front end. We integrated our system to communicate. It's a UI front end that allows you to have a widget for your bot that gives you a pop-up chat window, and it also offers rich interaction with the user. So the UI will be connected to the Dialogflow API, and all requests will be passed through the backend, which is our webhook, which contains the fulfillment. So all requests that go to Dialogflow will be taken to the webhook, then to generate the response back to the user. So Dennis will now demonstrate Kommunicate interface and interact with the system.
Okay, let me open up Chrome browser. Let me reload this. So this is we deployed a bot on Kommunicate. So this is the pop-up window that Rias talked about a few seconds ago. When you develop, so the main objective here is to test it. So we're going to, once you open it, you get an introduction to the bot. We call it iBot, but it's inquiry bot, and about a menu. So when you write, you put, so in this case, Ray can explain a bit here before I carry
Yeah.
on in asking a bit of questions.
So in order for new visitors to the system to have an easy time interacting with the bot, we incorporated buttons into the bot. So this is just to guide the users of the system in what questions they can ask or what feedback they should expect from the bot. So we do have some few buttons that we added here, and then can interact with some of them to demonstrate how users will be getting responses.
Okay, so in this case, you're going to click the contact us. It's going to reach us to, it's going to bring about a response. Okay, let me ask about a menu.
Hiyo nitaifix hiyo bado iko ni
Okay. Register units. Where would you like to proceed? Yes. A bona fide student, yes. Follow this link. When I click this link, it's going to redirect to the student portal, to which the student should log in, because in this case, they have stipulated that they're a bona fide student. Let's go back a bit. The book hostel. Would you like to proceed? Yes. Are you a bona fide student? Yes. Follow this link to direct you to the portal. The reason it's directing you to the portal, the student portal has been automated in such a way that it will enable you to access student activities like accommodation. In this case, you have to be a registered student so that you can access it. Okay, let me ask you a few questions. Open this. Okay, what this question here? I wrote this question down because I wanted to ask it directly. Okay, let's ask you the question. Are you? What are the minimum? So we asked the bot what are the minimum requirements for PBIT. That's the course that we are currently me and Ray.
yeah, and I think this also answers one of our specific objectives, which was to provide informed decision making to be made by students in course selection. So when a student inquires about a course, they can get the details they need there, and they can see whether they are suited for that course or whether they would like to enroll in such a course. So we have achieved one of our objectives here, and also the one which was redirecting to the student portal. One of our specific objectives was to provide the right links to university content. So that's one of the links we have provided, and also the email us link is also in our bot.
Okay. So let's ask it, because we are about to graduate, let's ask it about what career opportunities that it may have, that BBIT has. Yeah, skip that. Okay. Okay, graduates just given me a response, so it will enable me to, it has also satisfied the objective for this question that Reyes talked about a few moments ago. So it's giving you real-time feedback on the information based on based on the degree course that you have selected. So may I repeat, where is multimedia? This multimedia university, main campus. It's gonna tell me the location. Okay, this is the location of the main campus. Okay, you can ask it about the future for multimedia. So you can be able to do a pre-forecast. Okay, given us this vision is to sync with Kenyan Vision 2030. You see, this one gives us. So in this case, we had to train our agent to be able to understand the question that is going to be asked, so that it can go to the back end and fetch the responses based on the intent of the question and match it with the entities, so that you can be able to come up with this response. And also with the help of the knowledge base, which enables the bot to be able to have a consistent storage of information. So when a question arises, it has an automated response that it can give back to the student when the question is asked. Let me try a few series of questions. Let's just ask it. Okay, let's ask it. Faculty. So we asked it about the departments. Just told us there's two departments. Department of Marketing and Management, Department of Accounting and Financing. Okay, let's ask it about. Let's do a bit of small talk. Small talk, we're asking it questions which are they're not part of the knowledge base, but they're just random questions that a user might type in and ask the bot. So in this case, small talk is a pre-built agent that handles questions that are outside the knowledge base, but are still relevant questions that the bot can be asked on a regular. Okay.
Yes.
So when you ask it, who are you? It's going to stipulate who it is. So it's a bot to help you with questions regarding the university. You can ask it, how old are you? So this bot, when we integrated Smalltalk, it has enabled the conversations that are outside the knowledge base to be passed and also generate a response. So yes.
Yes.
You can ask it a trick question like this. Okay, can you get smarter? So yeah, it's trying. It's understandable because when we started working on the bot, that was January. Okay, which is its birth date. Let me ask it about its birth date. I can ask you about its birth date. It was born. When were you born? I'm not sure about my birth date. Okay, so that is how the bot should interact. But in the long
Yes.
run,
And
maybe
when you want to generate a new conversation, finya tu hiyo pop-up to check. When you want to generate a new conversation, you just exit the bot and a new conversation will be created. So you can start a new conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you can, if you are not satisfied with some of the, if you had queries which you did not ask prior, you can now generate a new conversation to interact with the bot again and inquire more about the university.
Okay. So that is a brief demonstration of how the system works. And this is the team. Yours truly, Dennis.
And I'm Raymond. It's been an honor to present a project.
Thank you for the presentation, and thank you.
Alafu tunamuuliza any questions ama after tumesema hivyo, thank you.
Any questions?
Okay. Any questions you have regarding our system?
Okay.
Alafu sasa atauliza hapo. Alafu demonstrate venye hiyo nini hiyo ka pop-up katawekwa kwa website. Tulikuwa na nini na site ile place ya MMU wako na contact us, inafaa kuwa replaced na hiyo.
Sorry.
Demonstrate.
Okay. The website for So what you are, so the chatbot is supposed to check this place on the internet. Let me log into the website. Thank you, Raymond, for the reminder. In this case, we found the perfect place to embed the bot, which is this is the Multimedia University official site. So when you see here, when you click chat with us, it's offline, and it's asking you for a name, email, and a question. Then it's going to send it through an email. They're going to use this email to reach you so that they can send an email back to you. But in this case, when we have a bot here, we can embed this. We can have the ability to embed this bot here in the website so it can enable real-time interaction and feedback information. So this is what this is one of those things that when you're developing the system, we thought about it and use this one as a motivation to be able to create a bot that will enable interaction between the user who is the student with the with information about the university. So in the long term, that is the objective to be able to merge the bot, the bot that is developed with the campus website to enable good interaction. So yes,
Yeah, and by it being on the website, it means that all visitors to the website will be able to interact with it. So even potential students will be able to decide whether they want to be part of the multimedia university by just interacting with the bot.
okay. With that, I can conclude the presentation. Yes. And any questions?
Alafu tukafunge hivyo,
Okay,
tusikie venye atasema.
signing out.